You're watching Your View.
Thank you for joining us. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
It's Friday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew along with Grande and the Brown Man. If you're just getting with us on radio, if maybe you're just jumping in here on YouTube, tonight you'll catch up to us on television. And as always, you can get us on all the audio podcast platforms. If you're just jumping in, we were talking about last night's game, the Chargers and the Chiefs. And the Chargers had plenty of opportunities to win that game last night. But as long as there was time on the clock, and as long as Patrick Mahomes was going to get his hands on that ball, then Kansas City was not going away. And the Chargers will look back at this season, and I'm happy about this, of course. The Chargers will look back at this season and they'll say, if we would have won that game, how different our season would have been. Because that game last night, that was a typical Charger performance, meaning that when you've got the game, and this could have been their biggest win in LA since they moved out of San Diego 5 years ago. This could have been their biggest opportunity last night, and they did what they normally do. It doesn't matter who the coach is, doesn't matter who the quarterback is, doesn't matter what the roster is, it doesn't matter where they play. They Spanosed all over themselves. I know a lot of people think Brandon Staley's this sharp young coach, and if he would have gotten those fourth down conversions last night, and if the Chargers would have won the game, people would be talking today about what a boy wonder he is. What a genius this guy is. Guy doesn't even shave. Okay, guy hasn't reached puberty. Guy hasn't gotten bar mitzvahed yet. Look at this young kid coaching this team, and look how brilliant he is. But you know what? Sometimes in football, and I love a guy who thinks outside the box. I love a guy who doesn't just play conventional wisdom. But sometimes you just got to take the points. In particular, at the end of the first half, when you've got a 14-10 lead and there's 2 seconds to go when it's fourth down, take the points, go up by 7, going into half. So I'm going to be curious to hear what Browner thinks. I'm going to be curious to hear what Grande thinks. And then we're going to get really deep into what actually took place last night. So, fellas, you tell me. Brandon Staley going for it on fourth down. Aggressive, to be sure. But not necessarily always smart to be that gutsy. What do you guys say?
I loved it. 100%. I loved it. You're playing against Patrick Mahomes. They ain't one of the Carr brothers over there. They ain't the Broncos. Like, that's Patrick Mahomes. That offense can score in a minute. They showed you that. They can score in a minute. The 3 points, you're not going to beat the Chiefs scoring threes. You got to beat the Chiefs scoring sevens. Exactly what Staley said. I agree with them. They don't always work out, but that's the sport. That's the sport. So I would rather have a guy with that offense, with that quarterback, with those skill position players going for it. 4th and 2. If you find yourself at more 4 and 2s than you do 4 and 8s, those 4 and 2s, I want my guys going for it. I really do. I don't the 35, the 45, I don't care. When you're against Patrick Mahomes, you can start on the 10. He can go 90 yards in 2 minutes. You have to get sevens, and that's what they were trying to do. I'm with it.
I would say that results don't make a decision right or wrong. The one time that I had an issue with it was also before half. I just think like going up 7 at the half and they're going to get the ball coming out of the halftime. I think that that's just the right move. I don't know what analytics tells you there. Clearly, like he's got an analytic Excel sheet in front of him that tells him every time to go for it. But sometimes, and I cannot help but to think of Kevin Cash taking out Blake Snell in the World Series. Sometimes you lift your head up and watch the game in front of you. And sometimes you just got to throw analytics to the side and coach with the correct human decision at that point was take the 3 points, go up 7 because they're getting the ball at halftime. But instead, you don't do that. You go for it and you don't get it. So I would say that I have no problem with the way Brandon Staley coaches because I've played Madden like that my entire life. Nice. And I'm not a very good Madden player. So I'm not sure if that makes him a very good coach or not. But I like the aggressiveness. And Scott, not that we cared, but we always yelled about Anthony Lynn being the most conservative coach of all time. And so it's like they've had both extremes. They've had the guy that kicks every single time and the guy that doesn't act like he has a kicker. Yeah. So is there a right way or wrong way? I think it's in the middle. Yeah. And what Brandon Staley is doing, and he hasn't gone for it more. Like he's like the third most aggressive coach in the league. It's not like he's the top. But Last night, I only had problem with one.
Yeah. See, Browner, I'm with you. I don't really have a huge problem with the aggressiveness. I just have a problem with when you're at home and you have a lead and you can extend the lead, in particular, right before halftime. That's when sometimes you have to say to yourself, I know I want to go for it on fourth down. I know that's the message I want to send. And by the way, I agree with you. You're not likely going to win games like this with field goals, in particular on the road. But you were home, theoretically. You were at home. You had a lead, and you could have extended the lead going into half. And the thing is, we can all look back now and go, but they didn't. They didn't get this fourth down. They didn't get that fourth down. They left these points on the board. I mean, they had at least 3 times where they went for it on fourth down, didn't get it, and they were in field goal position. And again, if it's early in the game, I like going for it. But at half, just take the points. Alex, tell us what we're looking at here on all these fourth down attempts. Alex is putting this up on the screen. For those of you listening on radio, I always encourage you to come over to our YouTube channel. Go ahead, Alex.
They went for it 5 times yesterday. They went 2 of 5. The first quarter inside, they were at the Chiefs 5, incomplete pass. That was the Parham injury. Second quarter, they converted on a run. They actually ended up scoring a touchdown that drive. Second quarter, again, at the Chiefs 1, incomplete pass. Third quarter, at the Chiefs 28, incomplete pass. And in the fourth quarter, the Chiefs 11, they converted on a run. To me, I think if you look at the bottom of this, Chargers running 12 plays inside the Chiefs 5 and scoring 0 points, that's why they lost the game.
Yeah.
It's not the fourth down attempts.
Right.
It's 12 plays, 0 points.
Mm-hmm. Inside the 5-yard line of the Chiefs.
Inside the 5-yard line.
Right,
And that's,
right.
That's the problem. And I think I agree with what Herbert said after the game. He's like, we just got to be better on the other downs to not get to the fourth down.
Mm-hmm.
And when you run 12 plays inside the 5 and get 0 points, you're not supposed to win that game, any game. And the Chiefs didn't want to win that game either. Like, they had the Chiefs were awful until the fourth quarter. Like, awful. Patrick Mahomes, you remember when they went for it on fourth down at the goal line?
Right.
He threw a ball about 2 yards in front of him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I know. And Troy Aikman was on the TV broadcast going, well, he's trying to make a really fast throw. And so when he grips the ball, he doesn't have the laces and he can't really get he can't really get a good throw on. And it's like, okay. But bottom line is it's fourth down. That's Patrick Mahomes. And that's a ball he just threw into the ground. So
Herbert
you're right.
Herbert made the same play, but I think it was on second down when he threw the ball a little too high, and the tight end juggled it and dropped it. Like, it was going to be a walk-in touchdown. Like, those are plays during the game that you wish you could have back, that you just made a mistake in those moments.
How about Mahomes when he threw that ball, though, and it was tipped up by the Charger linebacker? He had that J.J. Watt kind of play, and he picked the ball off. I mean, you're right. Patrick Mahomes didn't become Superman until like the fourth quarter, when I think there were 29 points scored in the fourth quarter. That's crazy. All right, let's take a look at this.
These are his last 3 drives that all ended in touchdowns. This is 2 in the fourth quarter, 1 in overtime. They were trailing 21-13. He goes 2 of 3, 70 yards and a touchdown. They get the 2-point conversion. Then the Chargers come back and score. So it's 28-21 Chargers still in the fourth quarter. He goes 4 of 6, 36 yards with a touchdown. He had a big run in that drive, if you remember.
Right, I do.
And then in overtime, a massive play to Kelsey's 3 of 5, 75 yards and a touchdown. And that's really, unfortunately, for the Chargers, like you said, sometimes Mahomes plays where he's so unstoppable that you're not going to do anything.
That's why you don't kick field goals.
And yesterday, Browner was, and I told you that if you have this kind of game where Herb Bolt can explode to the top of the MVP race, I would say that he lost the MVP yesterday. And Mahomes put himself in that conversation, because you don't remember the dirt ball. You don't remember the tipped interceptions when you finish 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and win in overtime. That's the kind of stuff that stays in the minds of people. And that's the difference between right now the Chargers and the Chiefs. To be honest, the Chargers are not a worse team than the Chiefs. They're just not. They're very evenly matched.
Yeah, but the difference is that a guy like Andy Reid has already won a Super Bowl, been to 2 Super Bowls with the Chiefs, been to a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles, and Andy Reid is an experienced NFL coach, and Brandon Staley's a kid. And instead of Brandon Staley having a little bit of flexibility to his game, Brandon Staley went into that game saying, we go for it on fourth down, period. It doesn't matter where we are. Doesn't matter how much time. Doesn't matter what the score is. We go for it. And Browner, I'm kind of with you in that you don't win games like these by kicking field goals. I agree. In fact, I would even point back to a few years ago because this is really what ended the relationship in Green Bay between Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy. The Packers went to the Seahawks to play in the NFC Championship game, and they kicked like two or three 22-yard field goals. And Aaron Rodgers' complaint was, we're on the 2-yard line. Why are we kicking field goals? We're on the road in a massive game. You don't kick field goals to win games. I agree. In games of this magnitude, it takes touchdowns to win. My biggest gripe, if I were griping about the Chargers, I'm happy with the results, of course. My biggest gripe would be you take the 3 at the end of the half and you go up by 7. Otherwise, the rest of it, I kind of get. I would say one other time I would have probably kicked the field goal because the ball was on the 28-yard line. So now it's a 45-yard field goal. I'll take my chances there as well with a kick. And look, if they kick 1 or 2 field goals in that game, they win.
Also, the element of surprise is now gone when it comes to the Chargers. They're going to go for it if it's 4th and 3 or shorter.
See,
it's gone.
And I like that you said that. But that also sets up Herbert's cadence at the line. You now may be able to be hurry up on 4th because everybody thinks you're going for it. Hit him with a boom, offsides, free play. So it works both ways.
All right. Hey, listen, let's keep going here. But before we do, I want to just remind everybody about iThrive MD. And the reason I want to remind you is this. I'm watching the Cleveland Browns with this huge outbreak. The Rams I don't know how they're going to play this weekend. I mean, I'm being serious. I mean, the NFL is changing their rules as they go along about COVID. The Washington football team's got a major outbreak. I mean, it's out there again. Lakers have a bunch of guys, not to mention just players and broadcasters. What were you saying, Alex?
Yeah, your coworker just tweeted Michael Thompson got COVID.
Michael Thompson, right? The radio analyst. He's got it now. Billy Mack missed a game broadcast and probably going to miss a few. So it's not just the players, it's the broadcasters, it's anybody who's kind of close by. And I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday and said, what's going on? Why is this happening? And what I was told was, and I don't know, this isn't science talking, this is just kind of common sense talking, is that the Omicron is just very highly transmissible. Now, it may be weaker. I don't know if that's really true. That's what I'm hearing. But it's highly transmissible, very, very contagious. So here's what I'm doing. Not only am I getting my booster shot next week, I've already got it scheduled, but what I'm doing is I'm going to iThrive MD, and here's why. I'm getting an NAD shot, I'm actually taking in an intravenous, I don't know what else you can call it, but I'm taking an NAD bag, I'm taking vitamin C, and I'm getting B12. And the reason I'm doing all of that at iThrive MD is because I want my body to be a force field. I want it to keep infection away. Now, none of these things that I'm doing are like anti-COVID Joe Rogan secrets. This is just simply about Browner, you like that? You're smiling about that, huh? You like that?
That's funny.
It's just simply about keeping your body as strong and as healthy as you possibly can. Normally, when it comes to iThrive MD, I'm talking about testosterone and guys feeling sluggish and tired and not doing the job in the bedroom. That's all part of iThrive MD. But right now, what I'm talking about is NAD injections, vitamin C injections, B12 injections. And Alex, earlier in the week when Dr. Damani stopped by, he was talking about his new facility that's opening in Mission Valley. And he's saying that they're going to have an IV lounge where, 7 to 10 people can sit around in like a barbershop, talk, hang out, whatever, all while everybody's getting IVs. Well, once he said that, I've gotten so many responses from great friends saying, let's do it. Let's go. So I called over to Dr. Damani and Kel, Gay. I called over to them and said, can we do this now? And Raquel was like, yeah, we can do it this Monday. I'm like, okay, that might be a little quick, but next week, I'm trying to organize it for like next Thursday because Friday's Christmas Eve. But I'm trying to organize it for Thursday of next week that we do an IV lounge at iThrive MD because I want you guys to do what I'm doing, which is stay as healthy as possible and create a force field with your body during this crazy time. So I'm getting the NAD, I'm taking the vitamin C, I'm taking B12, and I'll take whatever else they tell me to take, seriously. So iThrive MD, ithrivemd.com/Kaplan. Make an appointment now and keep your body as strong and as healthy as possible and fight off all this stuff that's going on out there. 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497. Make your appointment now at iThrive MD. All right, Alex, you either built something or this is floating around on the internet. I didn't know if you had built this on your own. The Chargers late in the game the win probability numbers said that the Chargers were likely to win this football game.
This is from ESPN. The
Okay,
win
got it.
probability. Yeah,
Okay.
this is cut off there for a second. I'll look up exactly the time of game it was, but I'm pretty sure the Chargers were up by 8, 21-13, and I think it was like 7 minutes left, but I'll look that up real quick.
I think it was 21-13 was the score at that point.
It says at the bottom of the screen, yeah.
Yeah, it's just that our graphic was in the way. 21-13 was the score.
Yeah, with 9 minutes and 29 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
And the Chargers had a 93% chance to win the game.
Correct.
Now, can we play this without getting pulled off of YouTube, or can we not play this?
No, I'm not playing that.
Okay.
That's too that is social media only.
Okay. So here's the deal for everybody that's listening. 9 minutes to go in the game. Chargers with an 8-point lead. They have a 93% chance to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. 9 minutes to go. 8-point lead. The stats say you have a 93% chance to win the game. Browners, look at Browner. The hands in the air. Dude, this franchise, I don't care who the coach is, who the quarterback is, what stadium they play in. The common denominator is they are cursed by the football gods. That's all. They are cursed by the football gods because of the guy who still calls himself the owner of this franchise. And they found a way to span us all over themselves yet again last night.
I mean, what's win probability? Like, who comes up with these calculations? Like, that's
the same people that come up with your coach's fourth down analytics.
Who is okay? I'm not sitting watching the game going, man, I wonder what that win probability is right now, 21-13. I can 10 minutes left. Oh, wait, but Patrick Mahomes. Does win probability factor in Patrick Mahomes on the other side? Because it wouldn't have been 93. Okay, it would have been about 50. 50-50.
Well, dude, people are more into data. Right. People are more into data.
Nerds.
Yeah, but dude, people are more into data today than ever before.
Nerds are into data because this is their way into the game.
Guess who the biggest nerd of them all is? You want to know?
Your coach.
Your coach, Brandon Staley. He's the big nerd. Because, well, yeah, but you see, but again, win probability is just a mathematic equation. But if you take your head, like Alex says, take your head off the iPad for a minute, take your eyes off the iPad and look out there and look what's going on. Look up at the scoreboard, know what down and distance it is, know how much time is left in the half. You probably kick that field goal at the end of the half rather than going for it, and you probably win the game.
This is what I'll say about that.
Mm-hmm.
I like him as a coach. I like his aggressive nature, whether it be driven by a calculator or driven by intuition from being a football coach. What I will tell you is this. If you only focus on statistics, if you only focus on the numbers, you will be fired as a head coach. You mix the two. We will learn whether he learns that, because, again, he's a rookie head coach. We will know if he's able to do that going forward.
I'm glad you brought that up because he answered that directly, and the answer to that is no.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the mindset no matter who we play. But, I felt really comfortable with all of those decisions. And, the first one, it's a perfect pass. And just you have this really, tragic thing happen, on the way down. And, the one at the end of the half, I love that. And then you just, we just missed Jared on the stick, and that's the way we're going to play around here. That's the way we're going to play. And, when we have a quarterback like ours and we have an offense like ours, that's the way we're going to play because that's how you need to play against Kansas City for sure. And that's how we're going to become the team that we're ultimately capable of being is by playing that way. And, I'm really proud of our guys. I thought like we competed like champions today. And they made a couple more plays in the fourth quarter and in overtime than we did. But I felt like our guys laid it on the line tonight. And I'm very, very proud of them for that.
Yeah, that's just great.
Moral
That's
victories,
so
baby.
That's so cute. I mean, look, bottom line is this. It's kind of like we always talked about the Padres. Andy Green was a guy who was just a puppet to the analytics of AJ Preller. And the same goes with Jace Tingler. Now here you have a young guy who's getting his first chance to be a head coach in the NFL. And he's part of the new young breed of analytic type coaches. And, he's saying the things that, he believes, but those are the things that get coaches fired. If you don't have an Andy Reid, a Pete Carroll, a guy who's been around and has coached for a while and has a gut, has a feel, can slow the game down and think to himself, hey, it's 4th and 2. There's 2 seconds left to go in the first half. You know what? We're up by 4. My game plan was to go for it on all the 4th downs, but given the lead that we have, we might as well take the points and go up by 7. That's the smart play.
I got to tell you, if Brandon Staley wasn't as universally loved and hyped as he is, because he is, like, his story's fantastic and people love the guy. Let's just say Urban Meyer did this last night. What's your reaction today?
Me?
If Brandon Staley, anybody's reaction, it's like a football world is like, yeah, we get it. It's Brandon Staley because people like him. If people did not like that coach, he would be getting slammed today.
If Urban Meyer,
you got 10 seconds, Brian, and then we'll keep it going.
Urban Meyer would have done it last night, I would have had no problem with it.
Okay.
Easy to say when he's on his couch.
If Matt Nagy would have done that last night, I would have had no problems with it.
Yeah,
right. Stick around, everybody. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. We'll hear what Herbold had to say. We'll hear what Mahomes had to say. And there's so much more to get to on what was such a fantastic Thursday night.
Fans.
All right, and don't forget about the broke Chiefs fans. We'll get to that part of it. Stick around. This is Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Rich Eisen here, inviting you to catch my show, The Rich Eisen Show, on our flagship radio station, the mightier 1090. We're on every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to noon Pacific time. You'll like what you hear. If not, that's just, I guess, too bad.
A new generation of radio. The all-new and mightier 1090. Right now at BMW San Diego. Get 0.9% APR financing up to 36 months on all in-stock 2018 and 2019 certified pre-owned BMW models. BMW San Diego, Kearney Mesa Road and the 163 and BMWSanDiego.com.
Watch your San Diego State Aztecs take on the San Diego Christian Hawks. December 28th at 6 p.m. live from the Viejas Arena.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Great googly movie.
oh, yeah. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more. Just off I-8 in El Cajon.
Right now at BMW San Diego. Get 0.9% APR financing up to 36 months on all in-stock 2018 and 2019 certified pre-owned BMW models. BMW San Diego, Kearney Mesa Road and the 163 and BMWSanDiego.com.
Time now for Kaplan and Crew tonight's Community Connect. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon. And by Prospect Home Finance.
Last month, the Orange County Soccer Club hosted its second Corporate Cup, pitting local businesses against one another in a competitive round-robin soccer tournament, with the finalists playing at Championship Stadium after the Orange County SC home game on Wednesday, October 20th.
Really a great opportunity to get our whole company and our families out here together, spending time for a good cause and really enjoying it.
Co-ed teams from a variety of industries showed up at the Great Park Fields in Irvine to participate in the charity tournament, with the proceeds going to the OCSC Community Foundation to help further its mission to use soccer as a vehicle to promote health and wellness, support and empower youth, foster an inclusive environment, and unify the local community.
We feel great about giving back to our community. Experian is a company that tries to give back in many ways, and just being able to support this cause is awesome. Anything that we can do to kind of support Orange County, we're all about it.
It was a fun day out on the field with 16 teams battling it out for bragging rights to see who moved on to the finals.
They've been taking it pretty seriously so far. A lot of them have been practicing in the weeks leading up. They've got their own custom jerseys, and you can tell they're having a great time just getting out of the office on a Friday on a beautiful day here at the Orange County Great Park.
The team members were extremely excited and passionate. We got more than expected entries, and we had to tell people then just show up and cheer the team.
Participating companies were also treated to meet and greets and private coaching sessions with OCSC players and coaches.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's Community Connect is fueled by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Hey, Dave Smith here. Make sure you listen to my show on the Mightier 1090, 6 to 10 p.m. Saturday and Sunday night. The only local sports talk in all of Southern California on the weekends, right here on the Mightier 1090.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
Food insecurity is defined as not having sufficient resources to buy food either for yourself or for your family. Folks who are food insecure struggle with not having enough food to eat because maybe they lost their jobs. It is important to not just look at one person as being food insecure, but really looking at them as it could be anyone. The San Diego Food Bank has been around for over 40 years. Our job is to help procure food for San Diego County residents to make sure that no one is going to bed hungry. Accessing food from the San Diego Food Bank is very simple. A lot of our distributions right now are operating as drive-through distributions, so they are safe to attend if you are concerned with getting out of your vehicle and walking into a food pantry. The San Diego Food Bank needs your continued support. Please visit our website at sandiegofoodbank.org, and there you will see all of the different ways that you too can get involved.
There's a difference between just getting there and enjoying the journey. At Team Mazda of El Cajon, we put you in the driver's seat of the best cars around. From our stylish crossover SUVs to our classic sedans and sports cars. At Team Mazda of El Cajon, your good credit and trade-in can turn into the Mazda of your dreams. Start enjoying your drive with a new Mazda today. Visit Team Mazda of El Cajon.
Kaplan and Crew tonight presents Let's Talk Hookup.
Hi, this is Pete Gray with this week's Fish Report, and not a lot to report in the fishing grounds this week because of that crazy weather we've had this past week and more weather to come. But fortunately, this weekend looks pretty good, and there's going to be a lot of boats out rock cod fishing, and there's been some pretty good rockfish fishing. But don't forget that January, February closure is coming up, so you better take advantage of it while you can. And if you can get some of that live squid for bait, even better. Hey, the best place to be right now, Rancho Leonero, Palmas de Cortez down in the East Cape, nice and warm, lots of good marlin fishing down there and dorado fishing. And of course, the long range boats are getting good tuna fishing and wahoo fishing down on the lower banks too. So this weekend, great couple of shows on Let's Talk Hookup. Saturday is our Christmas Spectacular where we give away a ton of great stuff and have a lot of fun too. So be sure to tune in on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Mightier 1090, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody.
Let's Talk Hookup airs on Mightier 1090 Saturday and Sundays 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Brought to you by Prospect Home Finance. Fast, friendly, affordable. Watch your San Diego State Aztecs take on the San Diego Christian Hawks. December 28th at 6 p.m. live from the Viejas Arena.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the Mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the Mightier 1090 and your view. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's a Friday afternoon. It's a football Friday here for those of you that are listening on the radio airwaves of 1090. I say football Friday because at 5 o'clock this evening, Ryan Dyrud and the LA Football Network joins the air, and they'll be talking about last night's Chargers-Chiefs game. They'll be talking about the Rams and what's going on this weekend as they get ready to play Seattle. And I'm sure that they'll be talking about a lot of other stuff related to Southern California football fans. That's coming up at 5, and then at 6, it's the only radio show anywhere in sports radio in Southern California that's just about the Raiders. Silver and Black Tonight with Scott Gilbranson, kid who grew up here in San Diego and then found himself in Las Vegas covering the Raiders. Scott Gilbranson will have Silver and Black Tonight as the Raiders get ready to take on the Cleveland Browns. And I don't know who's playing for the Cleveland Browns because Baker Mayfield got COVID. Then they were preparing to have Case Keenum start at quarterback, and now he's got COVID. And they've got a third-string quarterback named Nick Mullins, and they had to go sign a fourth-string quarterback. And so the Cleveland Browns have like 20 dudes.
Jadeveon Clowney has been added to the COVID list today, and maybe by the time people listen to this show, it'll already be official. But according to an NFL Network reporter, there's discussions of likely moving that game to Monday or Tuesday.
They should. Listen, I'll tell you guys, I was on the phone yesterday with a friend. You can figure out who. I won't say names. And this was all happening in real time.
He got it?
And he doesn't, but he was saying to me, he's like, listen to this, listen to what they're doing right now. And he like, there's real time happening. And we're talking about this stuff. And it's so weird how the NFL, not surprising that the NFL, hey, the show must go on. These guys got to get out there and play. But what if they have a positive COVID test? Well, were they vaccinated? Yeah. Do they have symptoms? No. Okay, play them. I mean, it's like the show must go on. And
so did you see, I know we weren't going to go here, but since we're here, did he talk to you about any like fishy stuff going on with the actual NFL? Because Baker Mayfield was tweeting about it, and it's kind of making sense that the NFL is so desperate to make sure that this game happens that they were not testing players yesterday at practice. If you're vaccinated and had no symptoms, there was no plan for you to get tested because they were trying to cover up because they know there were going to be more.
Right.
And then Baker Mayfield starts tweeting about it. NFLPA gets involved. They start tweeting. Then they go back and test. And that's when they added like 10 more dudes yesterday.
Correct. Originally, from what I was told, they were not testing, and everybody could kind of read between the lines. The reason they're not testing is because they don't want to know.
Right.
And then all of a sudden the players union went, wait a second, hold on. That doesn't sound cool. That doesn't sound kosher. We've been testing these guys all along. Now all of a sudden you don't want to test them just because you need them to play. And
again, this just takes me back to my original point with the whole Antonio Brown thing. This guy had a fake vaccination card and gave out 3 more fake vaccination cards to his teammates. And Bruce Arians and that organization were running around like saying that, oh, we're all vaccinated. Like they didn't even run the numbers on the cards. So why are we surprised that now the NFL's like, oh, you know what? Don't test. Well, we haven't talked to any epidemiologists. Yeah, if you don't have any symptoms, play them if you're vaccinated. Like, what are you doing?
Well,
what are you doing?
I'll tell you what they're doing, and you know what they're doing.
Money.
That's it. That's all. That's what the NFL cares about. The NFL cares about its owners. You talked earlier today, Browner, about player safety. Nobody cares about player safety except the players and the players union. The owners don't. The owners do not care. The owners want the games to be played. They know how much money they lost a year ago by not having fans in the stands. They still made all their TV money, but all the extra money from suite sales and parking sales and soda sale, all that nonsense, they didn't make their money. And to them, they're the leaders in the industry. We found a way to put on our entire football season last year. We never had to push pause on our season. We'll play on a Tuesday afternoon if we have to. And I just think that the NFL is continuing to say we will find a way to play. And player safety, again, I don't really care that much, but I mean, I care more about this. Like concussions, I see the after effect, but I also know that the risks were there and the players know what the risks are. But when it comes to this, I'm just more worried about like this massive spread, which is why, again, this weekend, I don't know about the rest of you guys, I'm going to try and lay low. So let us get back though to the game last night, because it was a really, really great and entertaining game. And if you love the Chargers still, you were rooting like crazy that they were going to pull off a big win. And if you're a Charger hater like me, because I'm the president of the Charger Hater Club card, or I'm the president of the
Founding
Charger
member.
Hater Club, right? But I carry my card. I'm the founding member. If you're like me, you were stoked with the result. But in the end, if you're just a football fan and you didn't have a dog in the fight, that was a great game.
At what point in that game, because I know it crossed your mind, there is no way that you're like, the Spanos curse will kick in. At what point in your mind did you concede, like, maybe the Chiefs don't got it tonight? Because it definitely crossed my mind.
Yeah, it was probably the Chiefs scored to make it 21-21. They got the 2-point conversion. And then the way the Chargers come back out onto the field and go down the field and score, I'm thinking to myself, this is the kind of game now that they're going to shock everybody and win. This could happen tonight. Winning in Cincinnati, that's the kind of game they win. Being at home to Minnesota, that's the kind of game they lose. But being at home to Kansas City and having a chance to score an early touchdown and not doing it, and having a guy get hurt the way that their tight end was hurt and the way the game was paused, only to have Kansas City take the ball like 95 yards and go down the field, but yet the Chargers still had the lead at halftime. Like, I was concerned this could turn into a Charger win. But in the final analysis, as long as there was time on the clock and as long as Patrick Mahomes could put his hands on the ball, they had a chance to win. And that last play, that Travis Kelce touchdown, look, you can make all the excuses you want. Okay.
They were tired, Scott.
Yeah, I guess so. But that's just a spectacular play by Travis Kelce. And I've gone back and watched it. I don't know that any Charger defender ever really touched him. He's in the middle of the field, zigging and zagging his way, and he gets to about the 5-yard line, and he realizes, I'm going in for the game-winning walk-off touchdown. He was screaming before he got himself into the end zone. You can tell me any reason why the Chargers defense wasn't able to make that play, but from the middle of the field where that ball was caught and the amount of running that he had to do after the catch, that's just a spectacular play by Kelce, and that is a horrendous job by the Charger defense. And I loved it, of course.
Like, if you're the person that thinks that the Chargers should have gotten the ball, you think they deserve the ball after that defensive effort? Really? You think that they should get the ball again or try to score a touchdown after the defense just let them down by not tackling one of the slowest guys running in the secondary? Like, what are you doing? That's why there should be no more over. They scored, it's over.
Well, let's hear what Browner's quarterback, L.A. Brown, let's hear what L.A. Brown's quarterback, Herbold, had to say after the game. Let's listen in on this.
And you'd love to be able to convert those, and I think we need to be better on third down so we're not in those situations, but we believe in each other. We believe in the guys in that locker room, in that huddle, and we believe in the defense. And so I think that's a statement of trusting everyone on the field and off the field as well. And, we'd love to be put in those situations, and unfortunately we didn't convert as many as we would have liked to have today, but, we're going to ride with each other, and we're going to be right back.
Maybe it's time for Herbold to shave his head again.
No. Let him do it. Let the locks fly, man.
Well, that's what he did last year. He shaved his head last year.
Herbold wasn't all that great last night, man.
Get out of here.
Herbold was not all that great last night.
Get out of here.
Dude.
Are you not going to put that rushing touchdown up there? You're not going to do that?
Yeah, no.
You're going to leave that out? Like that didn't happen? Rushing yards up there for you? No?
Mm-mm.
They didn't make it into
I didn't put Mahomes either.
That's what I'm saying. You ain't going to put that in there?
No, I didn't put that in there.
Because that's a 3 touchdown. One rushing touchdown makes it 3 touchdowns and 3 touchdowns, player. Don't try to use you statistic nerds. Y'all always trying to slant the games with your little silly numbers. I watched the game. I know
who
what
played
happened.
better last night. I don't think it's a debate.
You put them numbers up like it was a landslide. It wasn't.
Well, I mean, look, here's the thing. Mahomes' passing numbers, 410 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's really, that's an impressive line. When you talk about rushing, Patrick Mahomes, 3 carries, 32 yards. For Herbert, 5 carries, 16 yards. And yes, he did have a rushing touchdown. I mean, listen, it was, going into the game, we talked about how you didn't have a problem yesterday, Browner, when we were going into the game, and we showed you the quarterback comparison. And we said, look, the statistics say Herbert's having the better year than Mahomes.
I could have told you that because the Mahomes didn't play well to start the season, and the Chargers did play well to start the season. So statistically, by the way, last night, just the nerds want to talk about statistics. Justin Herbert has passed for more yards than any other quarterback at this point in their career through the first 2 seasons. Okay. Anyone, name them, more than anyone.
Okay. So?
Right.
So what are you saying? So what are you
So
saying?
get a player his credit.
Oh, okay. See, you always love to kind of go back and forth with stats because
Listen, I'm playing on the road right now. I'm y'all at home. I'm playing on the road. I'm coming to y'all. I'm coming
just like the
I'm coming to
Chargers
Stat
were last
City.
night.
I'm coming
Just like
to
the
Stat
Chargers
City.
were last night.
just like the Chargers. Because you know what, Browner, you said something yesterday on the air.
I
You're
have
like,
not got so many texts in my life about something, and you've said some stuff, dude. Oh my god, we did a whole bracket about the things that you've said in the show. I have not got so many texts or tweets or messages about what you said last night about the Chargers, dude.
Yeah,
I mean the Chiefs fans.
Broke ass Kansas City fans.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, my son said to me last night, he goes, "What in the hell is Browner talking about? How people in Kansas City are broke and they can't come to the game in the middle of the week." And I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about, dude. I'm like, Browner played college basketball in the state of Kansas.
I know.
And so therefore he thinks he knows
I
that
know.
he knows that there's nobody has any money in
Look at that
Kansas
empty
City.
stadium.
Look
And
at
two,
this.
this made me so mad when you showed this. I couldn't wait to come talk to you today.
Look at how much red is in that stadium.
That is a lie. Tell another lie. You know what you're doing?
Tell
you're
me.
showing the audience right now while they're singing the national anthem. And you know what's on the screen? Red, white, and blue. So you know what reflects off glass? The colors on the big ass screen.
Well,
so the audience looks red. Hold on. No. That's an empty building. We all know in LA. We said this before. We said it before the game started. At 5 o'clock, look at that. Look at that red. Look at that red. At 5 o'clock, no one's gonna be there because in LA there's traffic. Show me this same shot in the third quarter. Show it to me in the third quarter. I guarantee you it's different.
Oh, really? So
I
then
knew
get
you
it
was
for
gonna
us.
do this. I knew. I was looking the whole time at the game. Look at that second deck. Empty. It was empty.
Well, what's
Blue
worse? What's worse? What's worse? Being overtaken by opposing fans or having an empty stadium in the biggest game of the year so far? What's
And
worse?
is
I'm
that
sorry,
really
Browner.
accurate, by the way? Is that true?
No, it's not true.
The whole place was packed last night, wasn't it?
I answered that
It was-
question. It's worse if you get your stadium taken over.
71,500 is the capacity. There was 70,240 people. 98% full yesterday.
Come on,
Wow.
we know it. Show me the third quarter. Show me the third quarter stand.
You go defend your case.
You find it.
You defend your case.
Right.
I told you
Bruh.
yesterday. When I get the shot of Chiefs fans, I will tweet, look at all these broke ass
said
Kansas City Chiefs fans.
That's
and
fair.
that is what I did. So if you want to go and make a point, you go find it.
So if I showed you a game, if I showed you a Laker game before tip and ain't nobody in there, the Lakers ain't got no fans, dog. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now.
Come on now.
If I showed you a Dodger game before first pitch and ain't got nobody in the stands, you gonna tell me they ain't got no fans? Come on now.
Come on now.
Bolt up. Bolt up.
You're saying in the third quarter it was empty. So prove it. Go
No.
show me a picture of the stands in the third quarter.
I said in the third
Because when
quarter.
I heard that touchdown,
Let me change my
let
modulation.
me play the touchdown,
let
and
me
you
change
tell me
my
what you
modulation.
tell me
Just
you're
take a
cheering or
listen.
booing.
Yeah, take a listen to this.
The running back
I also heard it.
to the left of Mahomes. Mahomes takes the snap at his right thigh, dumps it over the middle, caught by Kelsey at the 30, spins back behind Kelsey at the 15-yard line. Kelsey at the 10-5, touchdown! Kansas City in the biggest AFC West game in 5 years. The Chiefs put the hammer down with a 34-yard touchdown pass. Mahomes to Kelsey, and the Chiefs take a commanding 2-game lead in the AFC West.
That's the Chiefs box. Come on, dog. Just look, man. Just look. Look.
Listen
it's
to that
all right,
roar
dog.
of the crowd.
Yeah.
What's the roar? Come on, the roar? That's a roar to you.
How you gonna
on,
defend?
man.
I don't understand how you could defend a visual.
That's
like,
a roar
like it's
of the
right
mouse.
in front
That's
of
a
you.
mouse
Like,
roar.
this is
Can I have
why
a-
you get
can I ask-
called the Black Donald Trump with your alternative facts.
That's
This is
a
exactly why
mouse's
people
roar.
call you that.
I have
What
a
are
question for you,
watching,
Browner.
You're watching and listening to something,
I
and
just
you're
have
like,
one
"That's
question.
not happening."
I just have one question though. When
Go ahead.
Kelsey scores the touchdown,
Yeah.
and the Chiefs are all there in the end zone, and and the fans are kind of like right there because they're right on the field. Why is everybody like high-fiving those guys?
Because they just saw a game-winning touchdown.
Oh, so you mean like the Charger fans that were there? were
Yeah.
Like, hey, Travis, high-five me. That was really awesome. That was dope.
Yeah. Any
Get
fan
outta
would want
here.
that high five.
Get out of here.
Any
Yeah.
fan. By the way, the one thing I did see before the game that I thought was pretty funny, Sean Merriman tried to invite Keen Peele, whichever one he was. I think it was Peele, Keenan Michael, whatever his name is. into his box. They got this on camera of him getting shut down. I thought that was funny.
I would love to see that. I haven't seen that. Sean Merriman, honestly, like he shows up at these games and the Chargers celebrate him like as if he's Junior Seau. And the only reason that it goes that way is because Merriman, who had 2 or 3 good years with the Chargers, lives in LA and has wanted to become like the next Dwayne Johnson his entire life. That's been his goal. And so the Chargers utilize Sean Merriman as if he's some great legend in Charger lore. He had like 2 or 3 good years, and the people who are there barely know who he is. They put him up on the Jumbotron before the game, like, hey, everybody, Charger legend Sean Merriman. And people are like, who? Charger
Listen, you better be listen, lights out, bro. Don't take that way, bro. You know how he is, bro.
You know he wanted a piece of this. He didn't want this smoke.
Listen, lights out. We Charger representatives. We know how Scott. We know how Scott gets. He saw you in person. We saw how he act.
You saw him. You saw he did not want this smoke, Browner.
All right. Ooh. You know we can go to the film.
You know we can go to the film.
The tape don't lie.
At any time we can show the tape. He did not want this smoke.
All right. Okay, Big Scott. All right, Big Scott.
Is that not the case, Alex? He did want the smoke?
I don't think you listen. I defend you, but you didn't want that smoke. Let's be real here, dude. You didn't want that. If Sean Merriman would have clinched that fist, you'd be like, no, we're friends, buddy.
Right. It's all good.
Buddy.
It's all good.
Yeah.
You know. But if you remember, right after Sean Merriman grabbed me by the neck, and I was gonna have to kick his ass if I had to. Remember, not long right after that, we sat down with Tony Baselli, and I was explaining to Tony Baselli how I was about to kick Merriman's ass. You know.
Yeah. You got a good laugh out of that.
He did. He laughed at me. He laughed.
Look, I'm trying to prove Browner's point, but I can't do it. The only pictures I find are Chiefs fans celebrating during that Kelsey touchdown.
Yeah. Well, if Browner wants to prove that there are so many Charger fans there and that there were so few Chiefs fans because they're too broke to actually come to LA, you know, during the week.
Look behind us
again. Look behind him.
Again what?
That y'all
everything that happened yesterday was like, by the way, as a Charger hater, everything that happened yesterday, Scott, I don't think we can we haven't really talked about how it just went perfect. The Charger fans thought they had it. You know, Chiefs fans dominated the building. Chargers got their hopes up, and then what happens? The Chiefs come back and slam them down.
This is what you
slam
said.
them.
But this is what you said yesterday, though. You're like, wouldn't it be great if the Chargers actually won the game, built everybody's hopes up, created all this hype? Because even like Bill Plaschke today in the LA Times was saying that if the Chargers would have won this game, the Chargers might have had a chance to host the first playoff game in SoFi Stadium.
Yep.
His point was, this was a moment when the Chargers, because people like to cover the story in LA. They think there's this ongoing battle between the Rams and the Chargers for who is the dominant football brand in LA. And what Plaschke wrote about today was, well, if they win the game and they host a playoff game, all of a sudden they have a chance to overtake the Rams, who are struggling terribly with COVID, and who knows what happens in their game on Sunday against Seattle at SoFi. And so it's just kind of a funny thing to me that there's this ongoing conversation about who is the bigger brand or who has the chance to become the bigger brand. And so what you were saying, Alex, was, wouldn't it be great if they actually won the game?
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody started to build them up and hype them up, and then they fell in the first round of the playoffs. But instead, last night, it was better last night. It was better.
It was nice. It was nice, man.
I enjoyed it.
I like how y'all trying to not mention how the Stars came out to see Herbold last night, but I'm gonna let that go too. And I got the prediction of the score correct. I just had the team wrong.
Wait. The Stars showed up last night to see Herbold?
Mm-hmm.
You don't think
y'all saw Adele there?
You don't think the Stars showed up last night to
y'all didn't see Adele? Y'all didn't see Jay-Z? Y'all, huh? What?
Yeah, I think I saw the Jay-Z. I didn't see Adele.
Mm-hmm. Adele
were they in LeBron's suite?
Jay-Z was there. He wasn't there. You know, he fair weather.
No, he's on the road.
He's in Minnesota today, but okay.
Nobody wants to be in Minnesota.
Well, but he's also got a
isolating
COVID situation. Right.
The whole team has it.
Right.
But that wouldn't have stopped him from going to the game if he was in LA. Y'all know that.
Well, but the thing is that you think that people were there last night because it was a big – listen, here's the thing about the fans of LA and the celebrity fans. It's a Thursday night football game.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only game in town. It's the only game in the country. I mean, everybody's focusing in on this one game. And so if you're Jay-Z or Adele, you want to be seen at this game. And so a lot of the stars that were there last night that I saw were Kansas City Chiefs fans, rocking their red.
Like who? Rob
Paul
Riggle?
Rudd there?
Who
Paul
dat?
Rudd?
Didn't see Paul Rudd, but I did
Was
see Rob
Eric
Riggle. I don't think he's a big
Spoonstreet there?
star. Who?
The guy from Modern Family?
Oh, I didn't see him there last night. No.
Those are two big Chiefs fans.
I
Rob
know.
Riggle?
Yep, Riggle was there.
And Rob Riggle ain't no star, dog. He worked for
No.
Fox. Those
Yeah,
are
he's
easy
not-
tickets.
he's
for
not a
him.
huge
I
star.
know.
Come
That's
on
true.
now.
He's not a huge star.
Where is
Well-
Adele rooting for the Chargers?
Of course she was.
How do you know?
Did she have a powder blue on, or was she wearing black like she always does, like me?
She's phenomenally dressed. She can wear whatever she wants. She's
Well,
outside.
I'm telling you
the
right
color
now,
spectrum.
they show up last night because it's the place to be, and they show up last night because a superstar and a champion like Patrick Mahomes is in the house.
Well, you got that young goat. Got that young goat in that powder blue. What you
Hey,
talking
Browder, just take the L, bro.
Yeah,
Just
about?
take the L.
No. It's okay. We didn't win that game.
Take the L.
I ain't come on here today talking about this and that. No, we lost the game.
Yep,
we
you
lost
did.
the game.
All right, but we, the Chiefs fans, we won the game. Hey, we're in the 7 Mile
Get your
Casino
money up.
Studios. We are in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. We got a lot of stuff to get to on a Football Friday here on 1090 because let's talk about what's going on around the rest of the league.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Hey, it's Pharrell here, inviting you to catch my shows on the mightier 1090. We're on twice every Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. and 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific. Trust me, all the other sports stations are sleeping with your wife.
The all-new and mightier 1090. Right now at BMW San Diego, get 0.9% APR financing up to 36 months on all in-stock 2018 and 2019 certified pre-owned BMW models. BMW San Diego, Kearney Mesa Road and the 163 and BMWSanDiego.com.
Prospect Home Finance, San Diego's mortgage leader, is celebrating 15 years of happy clients. HomeFinance.com is the go-to resource online or on your mobile device to discover your best home loan options.
Hi, I'm Jason Bondrak, CEO at Prospect Home Finance. I want to say thank you to all of our clients, both past and future. As part of our 15-year anniversary, we'll close your home loan in 15 business days.
Start your easy home finance process today at HomeFinance.com.
Watch your San Diego State Aztecs take on the San Diego Christian Hawks. December 28th at 6 p.m. live from the Viejas Arena.
Right now at BMW San Diego, get 0.9% APR financing up to 36 months on all in-stock 2018 and 2019 certified pre-owned BMW models. BMW San Diego, Kearney Mesa Road and the 163 and BMWSanDiego.com.
Kaplan and Crew tonight presents Let's Talk Hookup.
Hi, this is Pete Gray with this week's Fish Report, and not a lot to report in the fishing grounds this week because of that crazy weather we've had this past week, and more weather to come. But fortunately, this weekend looks pretty good, and there's going to be a lot of boats out rock cod fishing, and there's been some pretty good rockfish fishing. But don't forget that January, February closure is coming up, so you better take advantage of it while you can. And if you can get some of that live squid for bait, even better. Hey, the best place to be right now, Rancho Leonero, Palmas de Cortez down in the East Cape, nice and warm, lots of good marlin fishing down there and dorado fishing. And of course, the long range boats are getting good tuna fishing and wahoo fishing down on the lower banks too. So this weekend, great couple of shows on Let's Talk Hookup. Saturday is our Christmas Spectacular where we give away a ton of great stuff and have a lot of fun too. So be sure to tune in on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Mightier 1090, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody.
Let's Talk Hookup airs on Mightier 1090 Saturday and Sundays 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Arash Markazi here, inviting you to catch my show, The Arash Markazi Show, on the Mightier 1090. We are on every Monday through Friday from noon to 1 p.m. Pacific time. Join me and producer extraordinaire G. Hay Wiley, where we chop up Los Angeles sports and try not to piss too many people off.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
Diego's first Mazda Retail Evolution facility. It takes years and years to put all this together and to make Team Mazda a reality. Unbelievable team here.
Thank you to John and Corinne for the opportunity. It's a privilege and an honor to say that this is the store I get to be the general manager of.
I do want to speak to what I have in my hand here. It is a big, heavy plaque representing the grand opening. So I want to present this to John, say thank you again.
We're very proud of the work that you're doing here. I commend you on your future prosperity. At this point, I want to invite you all outside to hear a drum demonstration.
Let's take it up a notch with Kaplan and Crew tonight's Premium Boost, powered by the mightier 1090 and by Prospect Home Finance.
Today, we proudly held the ribbon cutting ceremony for our new office in La Jolla, California. Here we are in the Merrill Lynch building, right in the middle of the village, and really, really happy to be part of this neighborhood. This is really special to Prospect in that it almost signifies the fact that we've grown up officially. We have survived the past 15 years by being very agile. We come to this one amazing location from 3 separate offices. So it's fantastic having everyone under one roof. This is going to do wonders in terms of streamlining our operations, being able to communicate with someone down the hall as opposed to someone who's several blocks away is going to be terrific. Our CEO, Jason Vondrack, he's a very humble person, but I know this day really, really means a lot to him in that he has led this company for 15 years. And he started this business out of a studio apartment. And look where we are now. That's huge. I think this new space signifies just endless possibilities for prospects. I mean, we're headquartered in La Jolla, but we do business all around the country. So our goal is to be licensed to offer home financing in all 50 states, and we're well on our way.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's Premium Boost is powered by the mightier 1090 and by Prospect Home Finance. You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Wilsey Asset Management is an investment advisory firm registered with the SEC. We're a firm that's a fiduciary firm, and we manage $500 million in assets for clients and businesses nationwide. We do better when our clients do better. You want to have a win-win situation. And I saw the same thing with charities. Some of the charities that we're involved in would include Crews for Kids. Another organization that we really helped a lot was Children's Hospital. And there's also other organizations that we help as well in addition to those.
Kind of growing up and seeing how involved my dad was in the community, it really rubbed me, I'm going to say, in the right way. I did kind of take that one step further, I would say, and actually did start my own charity. It's called the Fighters Fight Foundation. What we do is we actually provide experiences to women that are battling stage 3 or stage 4 breast cancer. Our charity is not just about providing the experiences for women, it's also too on educating people. If you want to get involved in the foundation, you can go to our website, fightersfightfoundation.com.
Watch your San Diego State Aztecs take on the San Diego Christian Hawks. December 28th at 6 p.m. live from the Viejas Arena.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.